Welcome back into the show tonight. He's Carson Cunningham. I'm Brian Keating. It is time to crash the boards.
My favorite time of the week.
Let's talk a little Oklahoma City Thunder, who, well, they weren't very good today, were they?
That was a stinker. That was one of the worst performances of the year.
It was, no question about it. I know that Billy Donovan said after the game the Hornets were desperate, and they tried to, you know, put lipstick on a pig. There's no greasing that one up in the right way. Let's do this a little bit differently today. We're going to do stock up, stock down, and then I'll save the last one for later. So stock up for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Not a lot of candidates.
No, very
for this
few.
one.
Slim pickings here.
Stock market not exactly booming
No,
in
slim pickings.
Thunderland, but I usually say victory for Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
It's Victor 3. This
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
is shooting lights out since coming back from those back spasms. He's shooting 49% from 3. He's a career 35, 34% three-point shooter. He's playing above his head, and thank goodness, because he's one of the only players on the team who can hit a jump shot. So Victor Oladipo is really, he was brought in as kind of a role player, a guy who's going to come off the bench with a Kevin Durant-led team. He's played like the second best player on the Thunder, specifically on offensive end, and he's paid $84 million, just got a new contract that's going to kick in this summer. There are nights when he looks like a bargain, and he's played like that pretty much since coming back from injury, so victory.
He's better in the first half than in the second half, and I can't quite figure out why. But you're right, he's been pretty good, and he's been solid for Oklahoma City, especially of late. Slim pickings as far as guys who are stock up. Man, I'm going with Russell Westbrook, the big R, because, man, I think he's been exceptional, especially this week. And we thought we'd seen everything that Russell Westbrook had to offer.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of weeks, he becomes the first player ever to get a triple-double and not miss any shot. This week, he got the first player to get a triple-double and score 57 points in doing it. He's been unbelievable. This week, he averaged 40 points. I know the Thunder were just 2-2. It would be easy to look at this team on a 5-game losing streak. Russell Westbrook rescued them from a couple of losses at Orlando and at Dallas. So Russell Westbrook, if there's anyone who's lived up to the billing, Russell Westbrook's been that guy, and he's going to break the record. I think he's probably going to do it this week.
I agree, and of all the amazing performances, that Orlando game and the Dallas game, just those will stick out when we look back at the end of the year.
We thought we'd seen it all, and then Russell Westbrook does something that we'd never seen in the league
you and I had
before.
written off them so hard against Dallas, but this game is over. Why are we even watching? And then they win the game.
Nope, you're right about that. This one ought to be easier.
Yeah.
Stock down. Prime candidates in Oklahoma City everywhere. Who do you got? Stock down.
This is not going to be, you said yours wasn't going to be very popular in Oklahoma City. This is not going to be very popular. They have a $100 million problem. They're paying Steven Adams this summer. He got a 4-year, $100 million contract extension. He is not playing anywhere near a $100 million player. Scored 2 points against Charlotte, and normally you can say, oh, well, Carson, they went small and Steven couldn't have a big impact. They play big guys all over the place. He's having no impact. His free throw shooting has fallen off a cliff. He's under 50%. There's a cold, hard reality for Thunder fans. They're going to be stuck in the middle of the Western Conference with this current roster. So you have to trade either Enes Kanter or Steven Adams in order to reshuffle this roster and get talent back. Steven is not playing like a $100 million player.
Yep.
He is not living up to the billing. He's regressing as a player. Last year in the playoffs, he was one of the Thunder's best players.
Really, really
Looked
good.
like a bargain at $100 million. He is playing terrible. His stock is as low as it's ever been.
A lot of worthy candidates for stock down. Steven Adams. I could have picked Alex Abrinas, who can't make a shot anymore.
Alex Snow?
Alex Snow. Doug
Game of Thrones?
McDermott can't get on the floor and can't make a shot when he gets out there. But I tried to pick someone other than Steven Adams because I knew that's what you're going to do. It's Steven Adams. Stash Bro Steve's a problem right now. Stock down big time. Hit 2 points today. Of his last 7 games, he's only been in double figures twice. This is a $100 million player. He's paid to be the second best player on your team.
Yeah.
If the Thunder are ever going to go anywhere with this unit, he has to play like that. And he's not doing it. I thought he was pretty good against the Spurs. The one game that really he played against big guys, he was pretty good. And then, you know, he was terrible today. And it's become a problem and a conversation that we talk about far too often with a guy making $100 million. Steven Adams, Stash Bro Steve.
It's a big problem. Steve has not lived up to that
Got to be better.
Yeah.
Got to be better.
Has to just have more of an impact. We're not asking the guy to score 20 and 10 every night, but you got to make a bigger impact than that.
And his rebounds are always going to be down because Russell Westbrook takes so many of those.
He gets a few of those.
So could he be a double-digit rebound guy? Yeah, and he probably would be. But
he was dominant in the playoffs at times last year. nowhere close to that.
At times you forget he's on the floor.
And his free throw shooting, 47%.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. All right,
Robertson.
Here's the last one. It's very simple. And the MVP is?
Well, I can't avoid WrestleMania on my Twitter feed.
My gosh.
It's everywhere. I don't watch pro wrestling anymore, but I still have WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Russell. I've always said, look, if the Thunder make the playoffs and he averages a triple-double, it should be a lock. I mean, that's just the way I feel. You do something that hasn't been done in 55 years, it should be end of discussion. He also, every single night, has a new accolade that you mentioned earlier. He's the first player ever with 5 straight triple-doubles scoring 30 or more points. Oscar didn't even do that. And the big argument is going to be James Harden. If you want to vote for James Harden, I have no problem with that. But the big argument is, oh, well, they're third. No one expected them to be third. Well, why is that? Harden played no defense last year, and they were the 8th seed. He was a big reason why they were the 8th seed.
Yep.
So as much credit as he deserves for getting to the 3, he also deserves discredit for the reason they were not expected to do anything. He didn't play that well last year. But for me, it's just as simple as Russell's averaging triple-double.
I would vote for Russell Westbrook because you're right. If it hasn't been done in 50 years, it hasn't been done in the modern NBA. He's going to have 41 triple-doubles probably tomorrow night, or on Tuesday night he's probably going to get that. He's going to average a triple-double. But I think James Harden's going to win it.
You might be right.
The beard, and it's not who I'd vote for, but I think James Harden is going to win it. I just think there are too many people around the country that will try to make an excuse that Russell Westbrook stat chases when he really doesn't. The Thunder have to have him get a triple-double. They're not even competitive in most games.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that the Rockets look like a team that at least can challenge the Warriors and the Thunder aren't anywhere close to that, I think James Harden's going to win it.
No, I think you're right. And they fall back on the no one's ever won the MVP from below the 4 spot.
Yep.
And people might just fall back on that narrative.
We'll see. Thunder up next on Tuesday at home against the Bucks. He's Carson. I'm Brian. Crash the boards.